let's already proceed with our budget briefing. With that, let me direct the committee secretary to acknowledge our resource persons for today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. For the briefing on the FY 2026 proposed budget of the attached agencies of the Department of Education, namely the National Book Development Board, National Council for Children's Television, Teacher Education Council, National Museum of the Philippines, Philippine High School for the Arts, and National Academy of Sports, we would like to acknowledge our resource persons. From NBDB, we have Executive Director Charis Aquino Tugade and Director Ryan Esteban. For the NCCP, we have Chairperson Luis Gatmaytan and OIC Executive Director Maria Joeline Abendan. For the TEC, we have Dr. Jenny Hoxon and Dr. Rumbi Manguera. For the NNP, we have Director General Jeremy Barnes and Dr. Arvin Manuel Villalon. For the PHSA, we have Professor Josue Greg Zuniega. For the National Academy of Sports, we have Professor Josephine Joy B. Reyes. We have also requested the presence of DepEd Office of the Secretary, DBM, and COA. For the DepEd OSEC, we have Undersecretary Fatima Lee Panuntongan and OIC Undersecretary Edson Byron C. For DBM, we have Dr. Vivian Labastilla. For COA, we have Ms. Rebecca Sabuelba, Ms. Edna De Leon, Ms. Liza Venus, Ms. Giselle Levy Trinidad, Mr. Marlon Reñeses, and Ms. Jennifer Saligo. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Sabi ni Comsec, by order of arrival raw tayo. Pero dahil birthday ni Mr. Jeremy Barnes, he will go first. So we'll do this. So we'll call on the birthday boy first, National Museum, and then after that we'll do NBDB, then Philippine High School for the Arts, then NCCT, NAS, and TEC. Late ba kayo dumating? Oh, so late kayo magpe-present. So let's do that. So that so after presentation, the agency can be excused and you can stay and participate to listen. But if there are no more cross-cutting concerns, then you can be excused. So you can go back and to your offices and do your more important work. All right, so we start off with National Museum for their budget presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, and thank you for that kind of greeting. Yes, thank you very much. It's it's really pleasant to be here with you and our colleagues in the DepEd family. What's your pleasure, sir? Would you like me to go from the top or cut to our financial performance or wish list? But I'm happy to go from.
This is your presentation.
Yeah, it's quite lengthy because.
How long will it take?
No more than 10 minutes, I hope.
10 minutes, fine.
Okay.
10 minutes. Okay.
Thank you. So it's my honor to present to you our 2026 budget proposal. The National Museum is a trust of the government under our Board of Trustees, and we're attached to the Department of Education for budgetary coordination and related purposes under Republic Act number 11333. I'll first present our National Museum network nationwide. This gives you a snapshot, sir, of how the National Museum is increasingly covering the whole country. We're not just a Manila or NCR-based national agency, but are truly trying to bring our museum services to all regions of the Philippines and be present, especially in sites of significant cultural and artistic sites, as well as educational centers and so on. So you'll see where we are in NCR, as well as 4 mega regions of the Philippines: Northern Luzon, which covers regions 1, 2, 3, and Cordillera, Southern Luzon for regions 4 and 4A, 4B, and 5, Visayas, and Mindanao. So at the moment we have 22 component museums, sir, including our 3 flagship museums in Manila. And what's important for us to highlight to you and the Senate are the 8 component museums under development. It's important to highlight this because our budget has, for many years now, have been infrastructure heavy, and that also accounts for the swings between the GAA and the NEP. Usually the NEP has little or zero capital outlay proposed, and then in the course of congressional amendments, we are endowed with capital outlay for our infrastructure and other capital intensive projects. So right now, we have 8 component museums under development, and part of our wish list is to continue or complete some of these ongoing projects. So moving quickly to our mandate, just to refresh you, sir. We have lots of slides just to show you the appearance of our museums and galleries. So we have there for you our vision and mission of being world-class, socially responsive institution that preserves legacy, fosters a profound sense of Filipino identity, and helps shape a progressive, sustainable future, as well as to manage museums and carry out dynamic public programs for our diverse audiences, anchored on engagement, research, collections, collaborations, following, of course, international best practices. Going to our legal mandate, this is in Republic Act number 11333, which you may remember passing here in the Senate, Senator, back in 2019. In Section 4 is our mandate, where the primary institution of the state for the management and development of museums and collections of national scope or significance in the areas of arts, cultural heritage, and natural history, for purposes of protecting, preserving, studying, and promoting the national patrimony for the benefit of current and future generations, supporting education and social progress, and contributing to economic development through tourism and educational, scientific, cultural, and leisure services and industries. The National Museum shall be a permanent institution that serves of the entire national community and its development, accessible to the public and not intended for profit. Now, the duties and functions are enumerated in the Act. From there, we function as an educational, cultural, and scientific institution. Next slide. We establish, manage, and develop the complex in Rizal Park, Manila, as well as other central museums, regional museums, and we promote the principles of universal access. So, foremost among our advocacies is that of universal access, that every Filipino has a right to access their heritage, cultural, natural heritage as a Filipino through our museums. That's why we have free admission. That's why we try to make our museums as accessible, as open, as appealing, and as proximate as we can to people everywhere in the Philippines, and have programs even to reach Filipinos abroad. Next, we manage and develop the national collections. So we are a collections-based institution. So this is also quite labor and capital intensive, acquiring, maintaining, preserving, displaying, studying these collections. Next. Yes, and as for studying, we carry out research programs on a whole range of fields, sir. Of course, we disseminate technical museological skills, support museum development in the country, including all kinds of museums of the LGUs across the country, including Valenzuela City, that you might recall personally, sir. And we extend technical assistance in preservation, restoration of cultural property. So, as an example, these pictures show our restoration of the very significant shrine of Our Lady of Kasaysayan in Taal, Batangas, damaged by the eruption of Taal volcano in 2020. This was one of our pandemic projects that took 4 or 5 years, 4 or 5 phases across 5 budgets to finish. Yeah, and we completed this last year. Yeah. Next. And finally, the catch-all function. We carry out all functions characteristic of such museums as we are, public collecting and research museum institutions of national scope. Yeah. So following from our mandate, duties, responsibilities are our strategic priorities and the programs that come under them. So we have 4 strategic priorities. The first, as I tried to emphasize at the outset, was universal access. So under this is our museum access and public engagement program. So here is museum education, outreach programs of all kinds to our diverse audiences, including to students, teachers, the general public, marginalized communities, so on and so forth, persons with disabilities. And then our infrastructure program, or the museum development program, comes under this because upgrading our existing museums, improving them, and establishing new museums around the country is supposed to facilitate universal access, or first and foremost. So the more places we are at, the more easy it is to reach and access the National Museum and its services. Under the second strategic priority, cultural and natural heritage, that's where our research and collections management programs come in. Then our third strategic priority, which you'll also find is taking a large chunk of our recent and ongoing budgets, is digital transformation. So there you'll see large allocations or requests for ICT expenditures. That's where you'll see increases. I heard you ask NHCP next door, sir, the increases in subscription expenses to subscribe to software and cloud services and other related services. And then finally, strong topic, and we're very happy to be joined by our resident auditor, Auditor Saligo, is good governance under strategic priority number 4. So that is in complying with civil service, DBM, COA, and other oversight agencies, getting our ISO certification and maintaining that, and so on and so forth. I could go into each one of them. The presentation continues, but in the interest of time, we might go straight to slide 52, which is good governance, which is where we start to disclose our financial performance. But all these slides in between just go to each of those pillars, the programs, and then there are various performance targets and accomplishments under each, sir. Yeah.
Can you excuse me for 1 second?
Absolutely.
And we'll suspend for a few minutes. I'll come back quickly.
Yes, sir. So the slide we're flashing now, I think is one of the slides you're really looking for, which shows our obligation disbursement rate through the years up till the present. So I'm not sure if this will lead to any questions on your part, sir, but we're ready, me and my team, to go into that. And then moving forward for the current, next slide, please. Our current performance. As of June, we had obligated 60%, and then as of August 15, our latest report, 68%. I'm happy to say, sir, a lot of the lack of the things to be obligated were due to projects or funds for later release. All for later release funds were released to us just yesterday, sir. So we'll be obligating 120 million plus worth of capital outlay in the next weeks. So this figure will go up markedly by next month, I anticipate. Next slide. Again, I'm happy that our auditor is here because we are proud to share some of the commendations that we are given from the Commission on Audit. Of course, these are the commendations. There are also issues, but one of them is a high budget obligation rate that we achieved last year of over 90%, that we managed to exceed the mandatory threshold for GAD activities, that we also managed to fulfill the mandate relating to senior citizens and PWDs, and so on and so forth, and to ensure our properties. And so we've made progress on many COA issues. What isn't here are some of the things that remain ongoing, such as cleaning up our property, plant, and equipment. We're working with the COA. Again, sir, if you want to delve into any of these issues at all, we're ready to engage with you on that.